You've ran the 100 metres in 10.8 seconds.
Standing start ad.
But you went into football.
Signed for QPR, but it was just a lot of pressure at that club.
You moved clubs 12 times. What went wrong? So when did content creation start?
Snapchat, man.
You were filming and vlogging everything.
Every day.
Your kids feature in it a lot. Their first steps. You filmed the birth.
Everything. By them, so deep into Snap, I don't even remember having my finger on the button. I was a nuisance.
Can you stop blinking?
The success of your online profile has led to you being on Sky Sports. You're doing League of 72. You've done Come Dine With Me.
There's been so many times I've been wowed and...
Yeah, go on. Any stories like that?
With Stevo The Madman, went, effing hell. I said, what?
Hello, welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry Unfiltered with myself, Adam Smith. Pleased to say on the show today, it is King of Snap, man with a gap, the man behind Snapchat, Stevo The Madman. Stevo, how are you, mate?
Good. Really good.
Yeah?
Yeah, man. I haven't been good, I'll be honest with you.
Okay.
If we're going to be straight,
Yeah.
I haven't been good. And it's fine because when you're not good, you learn about yourself. You have to be honest and look yourself in the mirror a lot of the time. So I've done a lot of that for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
I'm still an arse, but I'm aware of my stuff that I do now. So it's just another, over the years, I've had to learn about myself so many times. So I've just got through that stage. So when you ask me, am I good? Yeah, I'm okay right at the moment. I'm really
Do you know
good.
what's interesting that? Because I do a lot of stuff with mental health and because I'm a massive advocate of that. And everyone says ask twice because whenever you say, how are you? Everyone just says, yeah, I'm good. So I respect for you for actually saying, no, do you know what? I haven't been good. And
from the start, I always do that, yeah.
Because that's, I can't think of anyone that said anything different than, yeah, I'm good, mate. And then we've cracked on with the pod.
Listen, man, I have, people always say, how do I continue? Because I've been honest with my life. I've been honest with my mum passing and dad being ill, brother being on heroin and all the rest of it. Like I've had a crazy, but I've always been honest with it because I know there's people watching that were feeling how I was feeling. And I'm like here to say, look, you can feel poor, but you can continue. You continue and you can still make good stuff happen in life. You know what I mean? So it's a bit of pressure on myself. I was even crying on my Snap the other day because I feel the pressure. I take it on. I take on all the pressure. But it's always good when someone does message you and says, oh, mate, because of you,
Yeah.
That's it, man.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So yeah, you have to sometimes, I probably do too much. I probably let out too much and I'm too honest. But it works, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
we're going to get in, if you're happy to talk about it, it's going to get into all of that because you've had some amazing highs. You've also, like you just alluded to there, had some bad lows as well. So we're going to talk all about it. And if you're happy to talk about that, I think it will help a lot of people. But let's start where it all started, growing up in Enfield.
Yes.
Childhood, what are your earliest memories?
Earliest memories, it's crazy because my earliest memories of Enfield and growing up was how racist it was.
Really?
Massively racist. The 90s in Enfield, I tell jokes about it now. Some of my best content has come from me telling the stories about the NFs in Enfield. But regardless of that, I had the best childhood.
Did you?
Oh my God. Some of the best moments was running from the NFs over Ballsmore. We had a park called Ballsmore Park. And there was an alley behind it called Dogshit Alley. Yeah, everyone in Enfield will know that. And you could we'd set up our goals. You'd use your bag, your school bag and all that, set up your goals.
Your jumper as a goalpost,
all of that.
Yeah.
But we would see them coming down that alley and that would mean, Stevo, you got to run. Because I was the only black boy in the gang, you know what I mean? So it just meant I had to run. But for them 5-10 minutes we got to play football, I still had fun. And my mum and dad just made sure that the childhood was good regardless. And my dad always said, because he grew up in the East End way before me, so he'd already seen that sort of stuff. And he just said, look, mate, you're going to meet people that are like that, but you're also going to meet good people, good white people, you know what I mean? Let's keep it real. And I did, and that's how I've always lived it. I don't ever judge a person because of that person in your crew or whatever, you know what I mean? We've all got bad apples, you know what I mean? So yeah, my earliest memories was football outside, run outs, just pure games, man. Pure games and fun with all different races as well. Because I was the only black kid, but we had Asian brother. We had Tony, who was Italian. We had loads of different.
That's where football's amazing, isn't it? How so many different cultures,
brought us all
different
together.
ages and backgrounds come together.
Called it the World Cup.
Did you?
Literally, we call it the World Cup. We'd all just have one goal and we'd all play, man. But that childhood for me was incredible. And that's why now, like, I'm literally in the space I'm in, I always say to people, like, they say, Steve, I want to get into what you're doing. Like, how do I get into it?
Yeah.
I said, what do you love?
So many people ask me that as well. How to become a presenter, and it's like, well, find out what your passion is. Is that what
There you go.
say?
Find out what your passion is and set up a camera and talk about it.
Yeah.
Like, and then you'll work it out from then. So obviously my passion's my family. Always has been.
Well, you've always been close, haven't you? You've got a very close family
Close
network,
family. My brothers, my dad, like even my cousins. We're close. Boxing Day, we always get together a couple of times during the year. Very close. But that was my passion, family. So that's my first thing I was filming. But also my passion, apart from football, music, is nostalgia.
Is it?
Oh, mate, I love nostalgia. I love talking about the old times. I love memories, you know what I mean? So when you talk about growing up in Enfield, I could talk about it all day, and that's why I'm going to end up I'm going to end up doing a pod. Not for no money or not for no nothing. It's going to be how the pods used to be. Your friends talking about the good old days, you know what I mean? So so that's it. My next move, not that you've asked it, but is going to be like, I want to really home into nostalgia because I can talk about that all day.
Because that childhood's a big part of your life, and looking back on it.
Shaped me.
And also, you mentioned football very early on, because I feel what's interesting about you is everyone knows you as Snapchat, Stevo The Madman. A lot of people know you from being a footballer, but I feel like not a lot of people know the level that you played at. So when did you start playing football? And was it just with your mates in the kickabout? And when did you realise you had a bit in your locker?
I know exactly when I realised. So playing outside, and I didn't play until it was probably like 10, 11. 10,
Really?
I wasn't playing before.
Yeah.
We was just playing run-outs like usual street kids and bulldog and all the rest of it. But started playing. And I went and watched my friend, Ricky Deer. He watches all my content now and he pops up, old type Ricky. I went and watched him, and he was playing for a team called Enfield Rangers. Right. And his Nanny Bet, took me over, and the ball come off the pitch, and I sprinted to it. Yeah. Obviously, the white coach was like, Jesus Christ, that's Linford Christie. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if he was talking about the pace or the lunchbox. Sorry about that, Ad. Yeah, you know me. You know me. You know me.
Sorry,
had to get one in. Yeah. But anyway, he saw me. He said, "Look, come over for a training session." So I went over, raw as hell. Yeah. No touch, no even football knowledge or nothing like that, but just with raw pace, and I was quite strong as well at the time. But I had an enthusiasm for just like wanting to learn, you know what I mean? That's how I am still now. But back then, so yeah, that was about going into the first year, that was. Yeah. That was my first time playing football. Scraped into the school football team.
Scraped in,
mate. I was so raw, just quick. I was the quickest in my borough. Yeah. Ended up being the quickest in the country, one of the English schools. But
Did you?
Yeah.
What distance was that?
100 metres.
You were the quickest in the country?
Yeah, one of the English schools, yeah.
What age was this, sorry?
I didn't lose a race from 13 to when I left school. I lost one to Martin Lewis Francis.
Wow.
Yeah, I was there with that.
So there was a period in your life where you were the quickest 100-metre runner in your age category, worth pointing out. In the entire country.
100%. And
mate.
I see Mo Farah now, and he remembers. I used to go on track meets with him and all of that. Yeah, man.
But I just dropped that in there.
No, but the truth is, and you'll hear this a lot in my story. Yeah. I used to get too nervous.
But before a race?
Bruv, it's only recently. I still get nervous. I still get nervous because I care, but now I just power through because I know where the nerves got me before. Yeah. Got me nowhere, you know what I mean? So we'll get onto the running, but yeah, I was quick, enthusiastic, and then just picked it up really, really quick. But I scraped into my school football team because I had an argument with a guy called Bradley Paul.
Right. Your knowledge of these people is unreal.
This is it, man.
His whole name.
I can't remember song words, or I can't remember to pay my bill, you know what I mean? But you take me back to the 90s. Yeah. And I remember everything for some reason. Locked core memory.
You're perfect with this nostalgia pod, by the way. Yeah, nothing he forgets.
But yeah, just had an argument with this Bradley Paul, Mr. Cook. Like, said, look, you've just got in there. Like, I wasn't a bad kid, and he knows I was just passionate. Got into the borough. It was just like each couple of months, I was just getting into the borough, then getting into the county. Yeah. Then at the county, I had all the scouts coming to the game. And then within about a year and a half of playing with the county, because a lot of scouts come to that, I then signed for QPR. Wow. And that was my first, this is when I first knew, okay, I'm half decent now. Yeah. I started at Enfield Rangers, I was starting to score loads of goals from centre-back. I could dribble through the team.
That's your position, right? Defender?
Yeah, in the end, it ended up being a defender. But I think then I was midfield and I went into defence for that one season. Yeah. mate, changed my whole life.
So
I was a defender.
were you still running and
For the school.
You're running for the school and at QPR. So QPR books came after you were running.
During, because I used to run for the school, but I used to get asked. There was a club called Enfield Harriers, running club. I'm not sure if they're still around, but they always wanted me to come and run for them. But I wasn't interested. I was too nervous.
Did you ever think you could have actually pursued that as a career?
Bruv, look at my thighs. I should have been a runner. Everyone's built for something.
Yeah,
I was either built for sprinting, or probably even American football.
Yeah,
but football, how my body was set, the injuries I used to get.
That's interesting.
It wasn't. I wasn't built for that. And probably if I was coming into the game now with the way the science and the way they look at it, they would have looked after
different
me.
level now.
Yeah, but at the time, I was doing all the same weights as the first team players and all the rest of it, getting muscle spasms and all sorts, man. So definitely could have been a runner. My dad tells me that's what I should have been.
Before we get into the football then, because this is what I was going to get into before Snapchat, you could have turned pro. You could have become a professional runner. You're 100% adamant about that.
100%.
Wow.
100%. That time, I got 10.8. Let me tell you this. And people
So you've ran the 100 metres in 10.8 seconds?
Standing start, I've done that as a standing start. And they say if
What age were you there?
15. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, 15. And I'm everyone's a year older than me, and my birthday's in July. So when I leave school, I'm still 15.
Yeah.
I left school at 15, but everyone else was 16. So they had a whole year on me. I only know all this because my dad always well, they had a whole year on you, boy. He's my biggest fan, innit?
And he thinks that was your calling?
100%.
Wow.
100%. But my actual calling is what I do now. You know what I mean? But at the time, definitely. I was a sprinter, man. I got 10.8, standing start, and they say that if you work on your start, you could take a second off.
Wow.
Yeah, I was a beast, man. I was it was only Mark Lewis Francis that beat me, but he was always gonna because I'd done a standing start.
Yeah.
He won't remember. He probably won't remember. I'd love to see him and say if he remembers.
Have you never met any of the
athletes? Only Mo Farah from that age group, and we used to watch him lapping everyone. He used to talk to us around the track when he was doing his race. And I got a shout out to my friend Watley because he was the other guy that was the quick runner at the time.
Yeah.
He went to QPR and I followed him. He was my best friend.
Yeah.
Another big mistake. Followed my friend to a football club.
Yeah.
Just because of my friend. I should have gone and joined Tottenham or someone local.
Yeah, good answer.
Where my mum...
big Spurs fan.
But at the time, Tottenham was known for coming to my team, Enfield Rangers, grabbing loads of kids and just throwing them. Like, you know what I mean? Not using them right. Like when it got to schoolboys, not treating them right and dashing them, or when it got to the YTS. So at the time, I was like, nah, man, Tottenham's got a bad rep, but it was a lie. I just wanted to go and join Watley at QPR.
Your mate said,
And it's funny because my mate Chrissy Heron was at Tottenham, and Tottenham, because they had more money, they could afford to give all their YTs, they could afford to take on 11 YTs.
Right.
Because they could afford that extra. If it doesn't work out, it's all right. But QPR was on a tight string at the time.
Oh, so less kids made it?
Only 4 people, mate. Only 4 people got a YT, which is criminal.
Yeah.
So they offered me and another guy, Marcus Bean.
Beanie.
They offered me and Beanie some terrible deal, like come and do the college, but it's not going to be the right YT. It's not going to be the proper one. My dad had a night. He's like, my son ain't doing this. Beanie stayed, ended up being the only one that went on to play 200 games. Yeah, you know what I mean? Which is, it's crazy how it works out, man. But Beanie was always a hard worker. And again, he got into a stage at YTS where he just went.
Yeah, it's a big part of that, isn't it? Mentality.
Yeah,
a lot
man.
of people say that. So your running career sort of finished because of nerves. You put that down to only reason you didn't.
I used to fake injuries
before you ran.
Yeah, I used to get so much butterflies in my stomach.
Did you?
I used to pretend I had a hamstring injury. And by the way, that was after the heat, so I'd got to the final.
Right.
So I've clean.
So it was solely the final that you'd have the nerves. The heats wouldn't.
Even the heats, but it just by the time you then get to all the other races are going on, and then your finals coming, you got all that time to get nervous again. Tough. Yeah, man, I used to get nervous. I've done a bit of stage school as well. Again, I used to get nervous with that. And like nerves was a huge hindrance in all the stuff I ever done. Music.
Was it?
Everything. Until I swear to God, man, I was in my van later on in life and said, look, it can't stop you, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You're going up doing this, but that, chill out, just go for it, mate. You're going to get nervous, man. It means you care, bro. And I just talk to myself, and some of the nerves was maybe coming, not so much in the running, but the football. I probably weren't as good as I thought I was. So it was a bit of a fake pretense in the dressing room and all the rest of it, trying to keep up with the boys that were really good. But I know all this now. As I've got older, I know all of that. And now I know my strengths, I know my weaknesses. like, in fact, I make a lot of jokes out of my weaknesses, and that ends up what makes me
Goes
money.
viral,
You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy how it's
do
all,
more of that.
it's all turned around, man. But childhood I was a complicated kid, like, because I was good at stuff, but then I didn't need to work at it. I was naturally good at a lot of things. Not the football,
like the running,
and I could pick up the MC and I could do everything. Like, you know what I mean? I was decent banter. I was good with the ladies, all the rest of it. But
modest.
But the thing I actually needed to be good at, that's when I'll be like, now I need to be good.
Yeah, that's interesting. That.
Now I
Did
need
you
to
find
be good.
that? So your running career finished. You went into football. Did you find the nerves were easier? Not easier, but better because it's a team sport. I imagine when you're in a final, you just see that lane, you just hear that pressure.
That's a nerve-wracking.
Was it slightly better because it's a team sport, or did you still have the same feelings?
I still used to get nervous.
Did you?
I used to even get nervous taking a throw on.
Did you?
Mate, because you had to find your man. You can't give away a throw-in. Like that was a big fear. I didn't like to give the ball away.
That's a random thing to be nervous about in football.
Trust me, man.
Throw-in.
You speak to a lot of footballers, right backs. Now footballers are a lot better. In my day, we used to hook it on. You could give it to someone now.
Give it to the winger, lump it down the line.
But in my day, you couldn't even give it to your midfielder. So I probably should have played later on in life. You know what I mean? But at the time, man, you give that ball away from a throw on. But this was at QPR, man. It was very. We had a coach called Warren Neal. He was a bit of a donut, to be honest with you.
Right.
But then we had another coach called Gary Waddock, who was amazing. He was amazing. But it was just a lot of pressure at that club.
Was it?
Oh, mate, because you had players, England. Even I got called up to the England schoolboys, but I was injured. At the time, I had Johansson's Lasting syndrome. That was another sad time for me because I'd love to have gone to the camp.
Tell us what that is, that syndrome.
It's like a growing pain. It was,
Right.
it was just about, I think I had it for about a year, 6 months. It was just where I started growing.
But that's at QPR when you're white. That's a dreadful time.
Schoolboy.
Get that.
That was a terrible time. I was always, I was injured. I was injured a lot when I was a kid.
Do you think had you not had those injuries, QPR might have given you a pro contract?
Nah, mate, I didn't try hard enough. Like, I was naturally good, but you get to a stage, or I had natural strength and all the rest of it, but you get to a stage where you've now got to really work. And
so many players say that. I've heard so many players I've spoken to say some of the best players we played with were at youth team who had all the ability but didn't have the drive or got unlucky with injury or just the amount of sacrifice you've got to do. A lot of the players that make it are the ones that give up everything.
Everything
and have that mindset.
needs to come together, Ed. Everything needs to come together. Like,
there's a bit of luck involved as well. I'm not talking about
massive
your Messis who are God-given talent. I'm talking about the players that are playing League 2, League 1. Is there a bit of luck involved
100%.
in terms of...
There's a bit of luck. Let me tell you a story, right? My friend, Watley, I've mentioned him, he's a still best friend. I was best man at his wedding.
Yeah.
He was the best. From 13 to 17, you're not getting a defender better than him. He could do it all. He was like a striker with the ability of a striker, but as centre half, quick, strong. He run for English schools as well and all of that. He done 200 metres. He couldn't come near me in 100. He knows that, trust me. But unbelievable. But what happened with him, he played under 19s from 14 years old to 19 years old. Yeah. There's no improvement, you know, and there's times where he travelled with the first team, but the game got called off. Time when Danny Shitu was meant to be injured, but made a miraculous.
Yeah, remarkable recovery.
That word.
Miraculous recovery,
That one. And I look at my friend Watley's career and where he could have been.
Yeah.
It was just down to luck.
Really?
Because he was way good enough. He was unbelievable.
Yeah.
That was luck. That was bad luck, should I say.
Yeah.
So it does happen, but then I've seen a player who is the greatest player I've ever seen. It was like Mark Hughes, but a younger version, which is strange because he's holding up the ball like a man. His name is Brian Fitzgerald. Any ex-QPR players you bring on there, you ask about Brian Fitzgerald, the best. I think he made his debut, but that wasn't down to luck why he never made it. He just made a few bad decisions and he was the loveliest kid. When I hear stories of Brian, I'm like, really? Brian was just the most amazing, loveliest kid, but he obviously had something going on, you know what I mean? So he had an opportunity, and I would say he probably, thrown away is the wrong word, because he's probably watching that. I don't want to say that, but I'm saying he
didn't maximise his potential.
No, didn't maximise his potential. Then you have people on the other end who just needed that little bit of luck, needed that we get in trouble, and we'll let you come the next game rather than you get in trouble and then you're at the team. There's people that get they have 1 strike, people that have 3 or 4 strikes. So yeah, it's all got to come together, you know what I mean? But again, I look back on it, I look back on my mentality, how I was, and the things I've never done, and they're my greatest strengths now. They're my greatest strengths.
A lot of people say that. You learn more in failure than you do in victory. 100%. So you went to Leyton Orient then, and you actually played 3rd tier football, didn't you? The equivalent of the 3rd tier of English football.
Yeah, man.
So at that moment when I don't know if you signed pro, but you're playing for Leyton Orient, did you think at that point, my life is set as a professional footballer, or were there levels to it where you felt, wow, this is above my ability? Like, what was your mindset when you were playing for Leyton Orient?
So it's funny because what happened was, so my dad had a go at QPR, wasn't happy.
For releasing you?
I was upset, as always. My brother's mate, named Ricky, was coaching at Southend.
Right.
He said, look, get your brother down for a game. Like, these times I'd fully quit, didn't want to do it no more. Went down there for Southend, played against Leyton Orient, got battered 5-0, but it would have been 12, 15 if I hadn't played.
Right.
I had the game of my life and still lost. But Peter Johnson, Leyton Orient coach, head of youth at the time, come up to me and said, look, man, we'll give you a pro now. We will sign you now. You'll be in the first team by the time you're 16. And I was. I went there, didn't even do my first pre-season with the youth team, was always with the first team.
What was that buzz like, being in and around the first team as a teenager?
Again, I used to get nervous even going to train with the youth team because they had such a good youth team at Leyton Orient.
Yeah.
A few of them have gone on, Nicky Shorey, Aaron McLean, Billy Jones. A few of them have gone on to do really well. And that was my youth team at Orient. Wow. We're not like an academy. So you could see how good we was. So it was even nervous. I think the youth team was better than the first team.
Did you?
100% Orient. A lot of people would tell you that. Now, we didn't have the experience or the know-how.
But like in terms of ability.
100% we used to bop them, right? But I used to still get nervous. But then you start, I just hit this like bit of form where like for about 2 years I just went like that. Because I know I went like that. Because when I went, QPR dropped out of an academy tier team and they used to play against us. The boys that were better than me at QPR couldn't even come close to me.
Really?
Like, oh my... I'd played first team by then. I'd been playing reserve football. These guys had only been playing youth team. I'm not saying that I was so much better. It was just, but because I'd moved on, I'd gone and played men football. Them lot were still playing youth team football. You know what I mean? So I'd been in the reserves marking. It's a geezer that went to Portsmouth for £1 million, but he made his debut in the reserves against us, and I had to mark him at 16. I can't remember his name, but at the time it was a big thing. Deal, and he was playing against a lot of people coming back from injuries in the reserves, and the QPR boys were just playing youth team football. So I definitely had a little splurt from about 16 to 18 where teams are looking at me.
And you thought that was your life set as a pro footballer at that point?
I didn't think it was set, but I just knew like I'm on to something here because I say teams were coming to watch me. I was on the teletext. Teams interested in me and Jamaica. I could have played for Jamaica, but I thought I was going to play for England.
Did you? You had that ambition there at that point?
Yeah, man. I thought I was going to get a move.
Yeah.
But at the time, teams are looking at us. Teams are looking, my friend Simon Downer, he went up to Newcastle for a trial. 650 they bid, but Orient wanted $1 million. So there's a lot of that with our youth team. Wow. We won the Youth Alliance Cup at Orient, so a lot of teams are watching us. You had my mate Jabba in the first team, who was doing wonders at 18, you know what I mean? So at the time, you're like, chill out with going to just jump on Jamaica thing, you know what I mean? Like, England, this could be a possibility.
Wow.
I wish I played for Jamaica now. We played with Bailey and all the rest of them.
Do you reckon you were good enough to play for Jamaica?
At the time?
Yeah.
With the form I was on?
Yeah.
100%. Because we had like Mikel Ledgerwood, he come down from Wimbledon, Jamal Campbell-Rice, these guys that were...
Remember him?
Yeah, man. And I was marking them and playing with them. And
wow.
Yeah, it was easy.
So I look back at your career, you moved clubs 12 times, a few same clubs in there in an 8-year playing career. So how do you reflect on your football career? Because you're saying you made your debut at 16, 17, you're playing third tier football, you could have played for Jamaica, you had second tier clubs in and around you. Premier League clubs. Man. So I don't want to say what went wrong because that's disrespectful and you've played at a miles higher level than I'll ever dream of.
You're not wrong.
But
what went wrong?
What went wrong?
That is the question, mate. And what went wrong is... Mate, I wanted to go out and I wanted to live the life as a footballer.
I didn't want to ask you like that, but you said I could.
Factual.
So that was what went
wrong.
I
wanted to live the life of a footballer, but not put in the work that a true professional puts in. Like,
so your nutrition, your lack of alcohol, your lack of going out wasn't compared to.
I wasn't a drinker.
What
I wasn't a big drinker anyway. Still not to this day. So it was never that. For me, it was just like, look, from when you finish training, say you finish training at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, you've now got until 9, 10 o'clock the next morning to use them facilities. They're not going to kick you out. So I could have been there using them facilities. In all fairness, a lot of clubs, a lot of players probably might not mention this, but a lot of the, not coaches, but staff kit men, they're trying to get you out the club, like at my level anyway.
Yeah.
I remember the geezer called Charlie, like, come on, you ready? Come on, let's go. Because he wanted to get home. Like, so even if you wanted to, I don't know, maybe you might not, but I always think, I'll never forget Tommy Taylor saying it, like, there's no excuse. You've had 24 hours. You could have slept there if you wanted to and used the facilities and
like extra gym work, stuff like 100%. That. Working, you finishing all of that.
So there was no, so there's no excuse in why I never made it. Like,
Does it play on your mind a bit though? Because if you've come so close, I mean, you've been a pro. You've actually been a pro footballer technically, like in Orient. To then have that 8 years later disappear. Do you look back with any regrets for your career?
I did when I was not being honest to myself.
Yeah.
Oh man, I should have been playing, and I should have played more. I was on the bench for a whole season once, but our defence, we had Dean Smith, Smudge, who got on to do really well as a manager. Nicky Shorey left back. Like, honestly, like Matty Joseph was a legend. Dave McGee, like the back four never got injured. Never got injured. And if they did, Simon Downer came in. He was just a few years above me, but unbelievable player as well. So I was just unlucky. The year that I was on the bench and I was really at it, and manager used to tell me all the time, don't worry, man, you get your... That's the time I made only the 4 appearances. Like, and that was Simon, I think, got injured. Simon got injured, and I come on early a couple of times and whatnot. But yeah, man, it get bits of luck that season if I get on and play a few more games, because the games I played, my debut, Dean Smith got sent off. I'm marking Jonathan Parkin. You got Lee. Lee, he was at QPR in Watford. Unbelievable.
Lee Cook.
Cookie.
Lee Cook,
Cookie. Then you had the other geezer, Michael Reddy. These are all playing for York. So that's the front three that I made my debut against, who ended up going on to play Championship Premier League.
For ages, wasn't he?
But Dean Smith was 1-0 up. Dean Smith gets sent off. We lose 3-1.
How do you reflect on that?
I'm like, Smudge, you mug. Like, you idiot. It was a stupid sending off. We was comfortable in the game. I was having the game. I still got a 7 in a losing team, you know what I mean? So, and
7 out of 10,
all the people, which all the rest got like 4s and 5s. We got lost 3-1. It was, you know what I mean? But I got a 7, I remember. But again, man, bits of luck in your career.
It just didn't quite fall for you.
No, it didn't quite fall for me. But how do you react to that? After, I go to non-league. Like, I got offered to go to Torquay. At the time, Emma was pregnant with Leah. I couldn't go and take 200 quid.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't think of that, the logistics of actually going to Torquay when you've got a family in London is challenging, right?
Yeah, man. And at the
even
time,
if it's the best contract, the best time of your life, you got a family.
There's a lot to think about. Like, so these players you see moving, it's crazy. Like the kids don't get settled at schools, and must be tough. Must be tough on the family. You know what I mean? But how I handled it after, I could have handled it better. I went into a bit of a. You don't know it at the time, but you've got to be depressed.
You had a bit of depression when you...
Mate, I didn't dwell on it. I was never one of them. You would never know.
Career finished,
but I had to have been. I was upset is all I known from...
What age were you when your football career ended?
20.
20?
2021. Wow. I left Orient, 2021, but then went straight into non-league.
Yeah.
Because at the time, again, Redbridge, there was a club called Ford, but they had changed to Redbridge. But they said, you know what, we've changed our name to Redbridge. We're going to capture the whole Redbridge borough. So we're going to be a big club. We're going to challenge Dagenham and Redbridge. I was like, okay. And they offered me, it was only part-time. They offered me decent money, I think 400 quid at the time, but it was only part-time. Oh, this is okay. I can go and do my training. Hopefully I'll get scouted. I'll be back in the league in no time. Yeah. Well, mate, you end up getting into a rut with the players that are there. You start learning, getting their habits. And by the end of that season, I'd quit.
Really? Yeah.
I'd stop.
Is that why your career finished? You decided to end it. It wasn't like you couldn't get a contract. You could have played non-league for years. No,
I ended up joining. So I quit. No, in fact, left Redbridge, went to Billericay with Dean. No, not Dean. I was with Justin Edinburgh.
Yeah.
With and that's why my love for Just is
same, mate. Yeah, I know. I do a lot of work with his son. And
unbelievable,
stuff,
Charlie. Yeah,
what they're doing for the foundation is unreal.
But yeah, Just took me. But it was Billy Ricky, but they called it full time.
Yeah.
But you trained on a Monday with the full time boys. Evening on a Tuesday. Wednesday was a day off. You back Thursday evening, Friday training. I just couldn't come to terms with it. By the end of that, I said, I'm done.
So that was your decision.
That was me. I said,
you could have. What I'm getting at is you could have carried on playing non-league.
Yeah, man. But I did go back. This is the 12 clubs. This is what kept happening.
So you kept going. It got to a point where you thought, I need to pursue something different.
Yeah. So then during that time, I signed a music deal. So I signed a record deal, doing grime music. So with my friend P Jam, The Explicit, we had a crew called Beat Camp. And at the time, and this poet and the boys take the pee out of me for this, but at the time, my producing partner, The Explicit, he made the tune called Pow, the forward rhythm.
Right.
Lethal the beat.
Yeah,
Pow.
yeah.
So that's come from my collective. So I'm in that collective. So in that time, we're taking The Explicit to a Cameo. On One Extra, we're going Kiss FM with Logan Salmon. No one knew who The Explicit was at the time, but P Jam and I had been on a few stations and whatnot. Well, P Jam, we had a connection with a guy called Cameo, and we took him. And so we was. When I say I made Pow and they take the mickey out of me, I was there. I was around. It was our collective. I didn't make Pow, but I was there.
It's a banger.
Yeah, it's a banger, right? But but I signed the deal from that. In fact, The Explicit and P Jam helped me get a deal with Virgin Relentless at the time. So I was making money from music. Not a lot, but I was making some money from music, but not a lot. It wasn't a lot, and there's a lot of skullduggery going on. Your tunes getting played on Channel 4 and things like that, and you're not getting no money.
We had Young on here, and he was trying to explain to me, and it was so complicated about how you get paid in the music industry with like licensing and agencies.
PRS and all that, yeah.
It's very, you've got to sell a lot of records to make decent money, basically.
Well, now I couldn't imagine, even now it's a lot better. But back then, honestly, it was like you have a DJ plays your tune on the radio, doesn't put the right title in.
What you mean?
You're not getting that
music licensing.
You know what I mean? So during that time with the football, I was making music, doing stuff. And this is what I say about my nerves, and you're just going to keep popping up. So I remember I'm making tons of beats at the time, and I used to walk around with a CD. And we was at a guy called Terror Danger's house. And it's crazy because Specs was in this crew. They're called Aftershock.
Right.
And it had Tiny Temper and all the rest of it.
He mentioned this.
Okay, he was in that gang, and I went to a guy called Terror Danger's house.
Was Specs a decent MC then? Because he... Genuine,
man.
Yeah?
He can bars. Even now, you go and listen to him bars in now, he's still got it, you know what I mean?
He said that he had like Tiny Temper people ringing him up saying...
Come back and do bits. Yeah, 100%.
So you can vouch for that. Specs...
Yeah, man.
He's a decent MC.
Specs is a talented
Could he have made it as an MC?
It's the bits of luck that we're talking about. And at the time when he was doing it, there was no money. If he could have made it, he would have stuck at it and done it. Yeah. He wouldn't have become a school teacher. You know what I mean?
Oh, mate, I'd pay to see Specs at Glastonbury spitting bars.
It might happen. I'm going to get him on a drum and bass tune.
I'd love that.
I've got an idea for a drum and bass tune. Everyone always says it. Steve, stop trying to get everyone on drum and bass. But yeah, I was trying to get him on a drum and bass tune. But I was at Terror Danger's house. All I had to do was show them my music, and it might have been different. But P Jam says, "Yo, Stevo produces." They will turn to me. Is it? You got Jammer. I think Skepta was there.
Wow. Terror
Danger, the room. That's how it always was in East London. You can go to Jammer's house, you'd see Wiley, Kano, you go to Terror's house, all of that. So I'm there, and these guys I've been listening to on One Extra and all the rest of it for ages. I bottled it. I said I didn't have my CD. Yeah.
You said you didn't have your CD even though it was in your pocket?
Yeah. And who knows, man, you would have got like...
And that was you, a talented musician, MC... whatever you want to call it, producer,
yeah, man.
But you didn't want to show them that CD. Why? Just because of nerves, in case they said I don't rate it.
Yeah.
Exactly. But what's the worst that can happen from that?
Oh, I know now. Yeah. Listen, you're talking to me as an adult now. What's the worst that can happen? They could say it's SH and all right, and whatever. That's your opinion. You know what I mean?
Wow.
But at the time, that was all I had.
Do you think your life would have changed then if they'd have heard that? And
no.
You could have gone into music.
I don't know, because I've still done tunes with Skepta.
Yeah.
Scorcher.
You did the England Euros chant. I appeared in that video.
You appeared in that video. We're bringing that back.
By the way, I appeared. I filmed myself for about 20 seconds. The edit was brutal. 3 seconds I was in it for.
We had better ones. We had Rio, Crouchy. We had some big dons on there.
Yeah.
Ollie Murs, we had all of them on there.
To be fair, I can't compete with Mersey and Crouchy.
But yeah, so like Musically, yeah, man. I had Skepta. I produced Nasty's first 3 albums. Like, nothing happened. So
Wow.
yeah, you know what I mean. Nothing. All I've got now is that when we have these talks,
Yeah.
I can go to YouTube and say, look, I've produced for Skepta. I've got Wretch. One of Wretch's most amazing bars was on one of my tunes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. So
That's class.
yeah, man. So yeah, I can look back at and I've done some stuff in
proud,
it.
yeah.
I can be proud, and I can also think, oh, you idiot, like as well.
Really?
But it gets you to these moments now, man.
Yeah.
So
It's mad, because I've never heard you talk about. I alluded to the fact earlier you don't talk about football much, but the music journey I don't hear about at all. But so when did content creation start? Because we know you now as an influencer, Snapchat king. When did that start? Was that sort of coinciding with music and football, or did you wake up one day and go, I want to make content?
No. So one of these clubs. So to finish the music, to finish the football journey.
Yeah.
I actually at about 25 got back into it. Dean Holsworth became my manager at Redbridge. Funny enough, went back to Redbridge, but this time there's no money. They're in the bottom tier. It's just about fun. I hadn't played for ages. I'd put on weight.
Yeah.
But it was the most perfect marriage. Me, the Madman, because I was still the Madman then. I was still Stevo the Madman. I've always been Stevo.
Have you?
Yeah, always.
Well, when did that start? The name Stevo the Madman. Who gave it to you?
So the actual Stevo the Madman, it's just that officially came when I needed to put a title on Vine.
Right.
Yeah. But
Vine,
I was always, Stevo, you're a madman. Always.
Because what's your real name? Remind me your real name.
Kevin.
And your surname's Stevenson, right? So people call you Stevens.
Yeah, so
people
Steve,
call you
yeah.
Stevo.
Yeah,
And
always.
Madman was just because of your personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Which is surprising, mate, because you're a lot of what I'm getting from this is you saying how nervous, sort of introvert you were, but everyone knows you as this extroverted.
nah, I wasn't an introvert. That's what I'm saying. I wasn't
right.
that. I would
So you were confident, but you were just nervous on
when it
when it
mattered.
comes to sport and music.
When
and
it
things like
mattered.
that. Okay.
When it really mattered, and it's like, okay, now we're gonna judge you.
Yeah.
That's when the nerves were kicking. But when it's like, go on, mate, get a bullseye on that. I'll get away and I'll get the ball.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
when it's no pressure.
Yeah,
when there's no pressure, I was fine. When
Yeah.
the pressure's, but I've turned that around now. When the pressure
Yeah,
gets
yeah.
going, oh mate, I really step up now.
It's also got a better ring to it, isn't it? Stevo the Madman than Stevo the Nervous Man.
There you go. Exactly. You know what I
You would be
mean?
where you were today.
But so yeah,
I still watch the content.
Stevo the Madman. Yeah, that. So to end the football journey, about 25, went to Redbridge under Dean Holsworth. He pretty much changed it into the Crazy Gang. Exactly how they used to do their things. That's how we used to do our things. It was all about the team. It was all about the guy next year. And from that, I think he was giving me. In the end, I used to say to him, "It doesn't even matter what you give me, no money." Like, cause some weeks there weren't no money in the club. We had to
enjoying it.
But it was like 50 quid or something like that. Done that traveling, you know what I mean? But I used to love it. I couldn't wait to get to football. I couldn't wait to train. And we ended up getting to the playoff final. We lost to Canvey. Billy Holland, he just walked up to the penalty with his socks down and blasted it over. But here's a funny story about that.
Right.
I was actually the fourth penalty. I told Billy, I'm too nervous.
Did you?
He swapped with me and missed.
Wow.
Yeah. No
Killed
one knows
Billy.
that.
Killed Billy there.
Killed Billy. Billy's just done well with Waltham Abbey. He's Waltham Abbey manager now, and I think everything's been promoted. But from that, because we had such a good team, Newport County come and got Dean Holsworth.
Yeah.
And Dean Holsworth got me.
Oh, right.
So I got another chance. I went to the conference. He put me at right back, and that's when the name Rhino come. The Welsh loved me up there, man.
Right.
They loved me, and that's how I play. I just 100%, you know what I mean? And it was going really, really well. They put a lot of money into the Newport at the time. We had a player come straight from United, Manchester United, Danny Rose. A guy called Danny, unbelievable player. We had a few others come from the league. So there's a lot of money thrown in there. And when we wasn't doing too well, they let us know. They let us know, and then it got a bit nasty. I won't even go into how nasty it got. The reports are out there.
Yeah.
But then I left.
Yeah.
Dean said, mate, I've been offered the Grays job. Don't worry. You're coming with me. I was like, and that was a league above.
Sorted.
I was like, sweet.
Yeah.
I went, all right, I'll go. Week later, Dean, he's still there. He's at Newport still.
Yeah.
He goes, don't worry, sorting out a few bits. Just go and do some training. All right. Cool. Couple of weeks later, I'm at Bournemouth now, just training with them, but I'm not committing to them. I'm not.
Yeah.
But Dean, Bro, he's flipping flying now. He's on promotion trial. He's staying there, loving him now. He's turning it around.
Yeah.
I only left because you was leaving, Dean. They loved me.
Wow.
They loved me. I didn't need to go.
Yeah.
It's all fun. It's all fun in games because I ended up going to Bournemouth under Ian Allinson, and Danny Hunter, the chairman, had the greatest time in football ever. I was skipper because the other skipper, Curtis, I have to big up Curtis. He got injured, but then they made me skipper, and I took on the role. By now I'm like 26. Not lying to myself no more on who I am and all the rest of it. And I just like used to help the boys, and we had quite a young team, so they had quite a good youth team. So they'd bring up people through the youth team. Ruddock Pelly was there. He got a move to West Ham from Bournemouth. And it was just the greatest time ever. And then I snapped my cruciate ligament.
Wow. So that's how your career ended?
Yeah, and that's the end. That was the end. But I still supported the team on crutches, and we ended up getting promoted. So where they are at now, that was my team that got promoted, you know. I'll never forget, it was the greatest time ever. The manager, the chairman, Danny Hunter, I was on a non-contract. He kept me on for the next year. Like, they said, look, man. Like,
that's good.
Yeah, he's like, you never have that. Never have that at non-league. And Danny, he kept me on. He said, look, we want to get you fit. Probably because he knew there was scouts watching. He probably wanted a bit of cheddar. But he got there for another, I don't know, till October. He's like, look, man, we can't keep paying you.
Ultimately, the injury cost you.
Then that was it. I was like, I had to have another operation.
Yeah. And
I was just like, from then, I haven't even done the rehab from then.
So then when did content creation
start? I went I started working. I was working in the van. Bought a van.
Yeah.
By now, I promise you, I'm like, this stuff's done. Me trying to be an actor, a musician, footballer, just go and earn an honest living.
So you thought that then one of your dreams was never going to happen. It was just about a normal 9 to 5 to pay the bills.
I've got kids. I've got kids. I've got Emma that supported me all this time. My mum and dad that supported me all that time. You know what I mean? So it was like, look, man, just you're done. You're done. And then what happened? I think the riots came. The London riots came. And I just remember everyone was upset and sad. And anytime that happens, it's always me, but I always take it upon myself. Like even when my little brother passed, my mum's friends always used to come round every day to keep my mum, keep her spirits up. I would do stand up to them.
Would you?
Oh, mate, I would.
To try and make them happy?
Yeah, just lifting them, lift them, they lift my mum, you know. And that was every day. I would be doing something. Even we had a shower downstairs. I would run past in my towel, but make the towel drop, and all the women, all the old women, they used to love it. Call me. But yeah, so always. So the London riots came, and I just remember it's horrible. I lived right in the middle of where it was going on. It was so sad, man. It was people's businesses, and just in general, people was upset because of what had happened to Mark, and I just remember getting on the Wolverine costume and just going around Enfield. I called it saving people, but I was just trying to make them smile, man. And that went viral.
Right.
That went viral. And that was it, Stevo The Madman. And from then, that was just for Twitter. There was no platforms at the time. You just put your video on Twitter. Then Vine came.
Yeah, I remember it.
Yeah, Vine came. Started doing that, and that was it. From there, I never looked back.
So from there, when you're doing that viral moment, you've had one clip. Because there's a lot of people that have had a viral clip. In fact, there's a lot of non-influencers that have had a clip that have gone viral. We've all seen Sunday League clips of someone missing an open goal or kids falling over in the street or whatever. There's loads of clips that go viral. Most of those people don't think I'm going to become a content creator. So how did you know then that's what you wanted to do? And it wasn't just one clip that went viral for that. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm getting at?
Because that one clip that went viral was just one clip of something I'd been doing for 28 years of my life.
That's you.
That's
being real.
Me.
Yeah.
You've been with me away from camera. You know me, bro. Like I'm older now, I'm a bit maturer now. But back then, mate,
you were less mature back then.
Are you kidding me, bruv? Mate, my known thing was being naked. Yeah. So we had this penthouse in Bethnal Green. I'll take the boys Sesto, Chrissy H, Marv, G, all the boys. Jay, shout out my boys. He's loving a shout out on this pod, by the way. I know, sorry, man. These are my friends. By the way, these ain't influencers. These are my school friends. These are my friends, man, that have supported me and watch what I do. Watch you. Yeah. So they're going to see this, you know what I mean? But yeah, we used to be at the penthouse and we'd order pizzas and I'd answer the door naked. Yeah. So we'd film it, you know what I mean? Yeah. So until we got banned, no pizzas would ever come. No, we couldn't get a kebab or pizza for love nor money.
Try that at home,
kids. Do not. But yeah, so I done it was a naked boxing I was boxing in my mate's garden naked, and I put that on Instagram.
Right.
And my Instagram got banned. I was
Banned?
I was just picking up those, like from that Wolverine, it was picking up. I cried. I remember thinking, mate, this is my opportunity. I was just people. You're getting messages like, oh, mate, you could do something. Yeah, this is before influencing and before any of that. This is just a normal geezer in a van. They're like, mate, you're funny. Like this is people that don't know me saying this now. And then my page went, and I got a message from a woman, a girl called Morgan, and she I love names, don't I? I know her name.
You love her, yeah.
She messaged me. She went, look, I've seen an app that I think you would love. She went, it's only 10 seconds, but Snapchat, man. And that was it. Once I got this, I added the 40 people in my phone, and I used to send these crazy snaps to all these people.
Why? Because you are the king of Snapchat, I think it's fair to say. You're probably one of the most recognisable faces on Snapchat. That's fair to say, in
the UK.
In the UK. Why was it Snapchat and not Instagram or Twitter or YouTube? What is it about Snapchat that made you?
It was the instant. It was the instant being able to put the content up, but get the instant response. I'm hungry for the responses. You know what I mean? Especially at the time, I used to love it. And I guess I used to just remember, I'm not working. Like I'm in my van. At this stage, there weren't a lot of work. Price of metal had gone up, so I'm less and less work.
So you're struggling to make money at this point?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%, mate. 100%. Definitely. I wouldn't admit it at the time, you know what I mean? But it was definitely not good.
And you looked at social media as the way to make
no way.
Not at all.
Mate, I was looking at other things that was bad roads, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I had a decision to make, you know what I mean? Because a lot of my friends, not the ones I mentioned, a lot of my friends were doing other stuff that was quite lucrative. And I was a known boy, I could handle myself. It was an easy transition for me to go over to that. But my dad, man, I just had my dad in my head. He's just such an honest...
Do the right thing.
Yeah, he's just an honest guy. So
you get the message about Snapchat?
For the first 4 years, I wasn't even thinking about money on Snap.
Really?
It was purely love. And I think that's why it lasted.
Yeah, because it's genuine.
Yeah, you get 3 years in this business ad, usually going viral and whatnot.
Yeah.
My first 4 years in the business was done on pure love. Yeah. So I'd got past that.
So you weren't really earning money. You weren't really... It wasn't a job. It wasn't. You were doing it purely for the love of it,
to make people happy.
Reaction. And it was. I'm right in saying I've watched a lot of your content. It's very entertaining. But you were filming and vlogging everything
every day and everything.
How challenging was that? Though, were there days where you were just like, oh mate, I just need to put my phone away?
Nah, because it was back in the van.
Right.
It was back being nervous. It was just. I got to a stage, and I used to always put it on my Snap beast mode. I'd hit beast mode. I'll talk Akafendo. I was probably saying it before him. But it was beast mode, man. And like, there was just no days off. All of them sayings, all of the sayings that came back then, I was that. But the only way it worked is because people were telling me it was helping. So that was it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done it. Because there was days, if we start talking about when it starts getting a bit serious and now you're getting overlooked. Like, it's now becoming like how I felt at football. Like, you know what I mean? It's now becoming, it's an industry here and all of that. And it's like, well, hang on. Why ain't I working for Adidas? Or like,
you're comparing yourself to other people.
All that. You start getting into that. And then that's when I said, you know what? I made a conscious decision to say, you know what? I'm going over here. I'm not going to do no collaborating. I'm not doing nothing. I'm just doing Snap. I'm only doing jokes that if you know, you know.
Right.
But they went for long. Like, I'm still doing jokes from 2013 that are still, if you watch then, you would get it. I could pop up now and you're in on the joke. You know what I mean?
And you've got a cult following on Snapchat. Man, people Spartans. They're called your Spartans, that watch all of your content religiously, right?
Yeah, man. They watch it. They turn up. The greatest.
How important have they been in your life?
Life-changing, bro. Like,
really?
Yeah, man. Because I grew up where you kept everything like coy. You didn't have your real name. You give girls a different name. You didn't give your number out. You didn't film your kid. Like, it was all of that.
Keep stuff bottled up.
Mate. You didn't say nothing. And there's me in my little box room at the time talking to these strangers. Like, but not only just talking to them, I'm going to meet them. I'm doing meets up in London and but it was just, it was weird. And then my friends at the time were like, bro, what are you doing? until they come into the world. We had a whole little Snapchat world where everyone was intertwined and they were like, I get it. Like it was unbelievable. And that's where I was the king of the Snapchat at the time, you know what I mean? And then it got to a stage where people started getting a bit spicy and hating on each other. So that's when I said, mate, you know what? Let me just get my own little lane, film me and my family. I can trust them. Like, I can boss them about. You know what I mean? Like, they have to do what I say if they need filming. And that's what I did. And it was the greatest decision ever, because I just created my own little, as you say, cult lane, and I stuck to it. I knew my strengths. As I'm saying, where before I didn't know my strengths or my weaknesses, I knew my strengths, I knew my weaknesses, and I just attacked it. But yeah, the Spartans and my supporters, and I called them Spartans because at the time I'm in a van and I didn't want to call them fans. Only real celebrities had fans and all the rest of it. I didn't want to call them that. So I had to find a way that, because I had a bunch of people that were supporting me, and they were more than just supporters. These were like friends, and they become my family, you know. So yeah, and at the time, 300 is one of my favorite films. 300 Spartans against the Persians. That's how I felt, man. I felt like we was the underdog. I was the guy that wasn't polished, couldn't read properly, couldn't pronounce his words
didn't
properly.
Really have a plan either. Didn't know what. I'm not saying didn't know what you're doing, but you didn't have a content strategy, someone, a marketing manager, a producer. You are in the back of a van just doing this for a laugh, really. So the underdog mentality, as you say. Yeah,
man, I was just filming like the bits of comedy that people would think was relatable. Like you could go and do a table where we're trying to think of sketches. You'd be like, oh, when this happens, we're like...
Was there any script with any of your stuff?
Nah, my thing was, I got to the bathroom, there's 3 of us in this bathroom, who's more important? You lot get out. So then I'd make a story of it's my house. Like my teeth are getting brushed first, but people would be like, yeah, but like they would relate. Or go in the toilet, I'm having a poo. Then the girls come into the toilet and start moaning. You just walked into a toilet. It's gonna smell like poo. Like, so that's stuff that for me got me wound up in the house. And for them as well, I'd film it and it just...
And that's just real. You're on the toilet. You're not scripting going, well, I'm gonna go to the toilet and all that. No. And that's why I think people like it, because it is real and authentic.
And you can't get the amount of content I did and the amount of years doing it.
Great point. Great point.
I'm not that good,
with
man.
The day scripting.
I'm not that good, mate. I wish I was. And if I did that, someone should sign me up now. Which they probably should, to be honest with you. But no, it was just my greatest talent, I think, is seeing the moment, being committed to it. Then
I also think the way you shoot it as well, because like it's, and I mean this as a compliment, it's not polished, it's not, it's very rough, ready and raw, and it's like people can relate to a lot of what you're filming, if you know what I mean.
It's messed me up now because now I want to repost my stuff. I shot it in such a way
that you can't.
It's tough. It's like you shoot it off a bloody potato, you know what I mean? But I remember at the time, again, that was another conscious decision. Stevo, you should be vlogging. I had companies telling me to fund me vlogging and all the rest of it. I was like, mate, to have to get my camera out and do all of that and then to get an edit, I've done 5 days of vlogging on my Snap. And not only that, half the time, I put up a 10-second snap, or it ended up being a minute. It's gone to 3 minutes now, Snapchat, but you could put up at a time. I would get I'll get the reaction straight away that led me on to my next joke or next bit of banter with Emma. Oh, Emma said this, did you see this in the background of your Snap? And oh my God, that'd be... So without the people...
So the Spartans help tell the story, really, which is why it's so powerful, because then they tell the story and they're seeing what they want to see, effectively. Can I ask you a question about, because you mentioned Emma there, you mentioned your family, your kids feature in it a lot from a young age. When did that decision come about and how difficult was that? Because there's great things with social media, people having, like yourself, careers from it, but there's also some very negative connotations with, sadly, trolls and things like that. So when was that decision made?
Well, again, it's not a decision. It's, I'm filming my life. Remember, when I'm filming my life and we're doing school runs, this isn't content. This is family video.
Real life.
This is a family video. This is home videos that I'm sharing with the world. And there was many times where probably shouldn't have showed that. But hang on, that's what's actually going on. This is real.
Did you think that at times? I shouldn't have done that,
Yeah, of course. But Emma swearing in front of the kids, or me swearing in front of the kids, how I used to swear. We were sailors. Casey's bloody a sailor now, mate, to be honest with you. Even little Air Bear. God. But they know it's a bad word. That was my thing. Like, no matter what we do to our kids, we just have to teach them right from wrong. And then we teach them well enough, they can make their own decisions up. Like Casey, I heard her talking to her friend's mum today. She was so polite. So polite. You know what I mean?
It's nice. It's good.
So I've raised proper daughters. Leah, it works. She got her own beauty like business at the moment. She's with clients all the time, always complimenting her how polite she is. And
Brilliant.
Erin, don't get me started. She's like she's the greatest little human ever. So no matter what me and Em were doing,
I can tell how proud you are. Just the way
no matter what me and Em were doing, the kids turn out all right. But at the time, you're thinking like, oh man, like, should I have shared that?
Yeah.
Is that too
I was
much?
actually, do you know what's interesting about your answer? I was more getting on the fact that you're putting them out there for lots of people to see. I wasn't actually thinking of what they were experiencing. I meant more that, because I know parents that don't even put a photo of their kid on social media now. Do you know what I mean? So was that part of your psyche?
I'll get to that. Yeah, like, so, yeah, it's a home video. So there was it weren't until it got to 2018, maybe, 17. Yeah, about 17, 18.
Yeah. 5-6 years ago, something like that.
But I'm 5 years into it.
Yeah.
I'm 4 years into it.
You've got a big following at this point.
Yeah, so it wasn't until then, that's when, okay, these people just come out of the woodwork. Like troll. There weren't no trolls before. It was the greatest space ever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, around 2007 they came. But let me tell you, Ad, man, I used to give them as good as, like, it weren't until recently that trolling became a thing for me, because before, if you trolled me, I had a Spartan research team. Wow. They would go and find your mum, your dad, your brother, your job, your sisters, aunties, like, we had all the info. We had all the info, and I'll just do a roast. I would roast you. Like, so, and that was all the time, and I didn't care. You want to come and talk about my kids? You want to talk about me? You want to butt in my comments? You've now come for attention.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you attention. So I used to
because that must be horrible when someone's coming for your kids. It's like,
oh man,
the worst, right?
I'll show you after some of the stuff. Like, it's horrible.
Does that make you want to stop filming them then, or not? Or does that then make them win, so to speak?
No, I look, the ones I could show the kids, I'll show them, look, this is the people, you got to build them up. And that's like now when Casey's on her TikTok and I see people in her TikTok live, I'm in there and they're like saying stuff, oh, where's your mum? And they're trying to do this. It's grown people.
Yeah.
The way she handles it.
Yeah.
She wouldn't handle it like that if it wasn't for
yeah.
growing up in the mud with me and seeing it and seeing the tears and seeing how humans really can be in social media. And I didn't let them on it. It's only recently Casey's got her own, the last couple of years, she's got her own platform. And,
device and stuff.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So before I wouldn't let them on it. So they only saw social media through my eyes. And I wasn't telling them a fake stuff. I was showing them
okay. So they wouldn't see the actual reaction.
No, they weren't showing that. But if I came into it now, I wouldn't do it how I done it.
Really?
I'd keep my family off it.
Would you? Yeah. That's interesting.
So I'm seeing
your whole strategy, even though it wasn't a strategy, it was real, it would be so different now.
It became a strategy, by the way.
Yeah,
it became a strategy, not seeing Emma.
But you wouldn't get your kids on it now, if you started now?
Not how I did. Not in the depth. Mate, the depth that I went with my family.
I was going to say, mate, because some stuff you filmed, like you filmed sort of their first steps. You filmed the birth.
Everything. The birth.
Of one of, now, I'm a dad. I think if I'd have said to my missus, we're going to film the birth.
She didn't know. No.
Yeah, she said no.
She didn't know.
But also, the nurses, everything. I mean, like, talk me through the mindset to that and the reaction from not just Emma, but from the nurses, the doctors, when you are filming the birth of your child. Because that is, as parents know, a stressful situation.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I don't even remember having my finger on the button. By now, 2017, I'm so deep in Snapchat and how I film.
Because it's filming everything you like. You're not really doing anything without Snapchat in your life.
No, like I've got every moment. And that's why now I've got 11 years of content that me and a production company need to go through.
Is that going to happen?
100%. Yeah. I've captured it all. Not just mine, because I used to talk, I used to do social commentary.
Yeah.
So I would have talked about when Saturday Social would have started. Like, everything. I would have probably gone on my Snap and spoke about that. Like, I could shape the whole of this whole industry that how it's become. I've got that in details on my phone.
So the birth then?
The birth, by then, as I say, I'm so deep into Snap, I don't even remember holding my thumb on it. No. I don't remember it.
Did you chat to Emma about saying the day before, by the way,
no,
I'm gonna snap this?
No, because every day I'm snapping. So it's not.
What's her reaction when you're filming that?
She didn't know I was filming until after, and she called me.
So she had a few things to say.
She had a few things to say, Emma. But now we watch it back in tears. It's the greatest. Like, that's my greatest. I said it to Chunks and Philly once. It's my greatest ever. It was everything. It came together. The jokes, the way I film, the realism. Ooh.
Yeah, the surprise from your audience probably. I can't believe he's actually filming this.
Everything that the audience was up with me all night.
Yeah.
Again, I'm saying I'm always 10 seconds behind. They were only 10 seconds behind, so they're messaging me. Wow. Is it here yet, Stevo? Is it here? Like, greatest. I wish I could bottle that snap. 24, 48 hours if I could bottle that and stay in that moment. It was unbelievable.
That's interesting, that. So even though that's the one that you probably got the most heat on from your partner, it's the one that you're the most proud of because of the moment you captured.
Oh, I captured it, man. It was just so... It was real. Like, my snap, my content, it was always difficult to explain what it was. Was it mock? Was it real?
Yeah.
It was something I created. Yeah. It was a hybrid piece of format, because although it was a mock, half of it wasn't. That's a real school run. That's real me saying bye to my kids. That's all of that's real. Then there might be a moment I add in where, like, I see one of the school mums and I say to her, "Oh my God, you say this to me as I'm walking past you."
Right, so some of it's...
Oh, mate, yeah. Like, I could go in deeper, but we got something coming. That's the same sort of format, and I don't want to tell people too much. But yeah, when we got a show with the BBC like a couple of years back, and when I'm trying to explain to them what it is, they couldn't get their head around it. They couldn't get their head around it. I needed a camera for myself.
It's not something they'd seen before.
Never seen before, and they couldn't get their head around it. We ended up getting it commissioned, but we didn't do it right because, again, they didn't understand all of that stuff was happening off the cuff.
The real
I'm improv. I'm improv, man. That's what I do. I'm improv. And because my family had been in it as well for so long, like, you watch our lives, you'd think it was scripted. Like, it was just so, like, Emma knew what to say to get me. I knew how to act. I do my whole, like, one of my, what would you call it? My inspiration, someone I looked up to was Bernie Mac.
Right.
And how Bernie Mac used to treat his nieces and nephews is the character that I sort of portrayed. Even you see Kevin Hart doing it recently, Harry with his kids, very harsh. Like, that was my character that I like exaggerated, that part of me. Camera went off. That's all right, kids. You know what I mean? Sometimes, you know what I mean? But majority of it was just me seeing a moment. Wasn't even that upset about it, but I would, you know what I mean? So when I'm now gone to the BBC and I'm saying, look, I need a camera. We've got these cameras here. Yeah. But I need a Stevo camera.
So your audience can experience like they've been used to it.
I'm going to see things and we're going to capture it. They wouldn't give it to me, you know what I mean? So we're going again. We're going again soon.
So Stevo, effectively, Stevo the Madman, the show, is something we will see, like, documenting your life.
I've it's changed now. I'm not saying too much.
You've got something in the pipeline.
I've got something coming. I'm so
There's
proud.
some sort of doco biography about your life that's coming, isn't there?
It's something that they've not seen before again. I'm going. Wow. I'm stepping out again. If I'm the only thing,
you give me so little here.
The only thing that gets my juices flowing is when someone says, "No, that's sick." Like, when like it's got to be. And there's so many good people doing things at the moment. That, as I say, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to be different. I still got ambitions to win BAFTAs with my talent, with my pen, and with my content. You know what I mean? So my creativity.
I love that.
Yeah, man. So I'm and as I say, I've had a little rest for 2 years. Still been doing bits, but in my head, I've had a rest. Yeah, I've been resting, but now I am the bit between the teeth, like you wouldn't believe, man. And the family, they've had a little break. They're coming on this one with me, even though we're not living together. Not all of us got Casey living with me. We're coming together and we're creating something together.
It's amazing that you always bring it back to family, because I feel like a lot of your content, your family, your kids have been so important. Emma, they've all been so important in that journey. I feel like, so it's beautiful that you're still doing that, as I say. And of course, your mum, who sadly passed away, she was a massive part in a lot of your content. I remember, I think there was one clip of her walking in and your towel fell down and you captioned all that. And it's, again, she was,
she's unbelievable.
She was a massive part of
supporter
of your success, right?
She like downloaded Facebook to watch me.
Is she?
And since she's passed, my dad's now took over the mantelpiece and just, he watches me now, although he's in the comments of Filthy Fellas.
Is he?
Yeah, I told him, Dad, allow
Is
it.
he?
Yeah, he's in it. Yeah, he's on my algorithm.
So that must be nice that your mum was doing that, your dad's doing that.
Man.
That they follow.
My dad's been viral recently as well. He got some new headphones and he put them on, but they're the sound stoppers, so you can't hear what's going on. I'm like, Dad, he can't hear me.
Yeah.
So I put on the Biggie Smalls tune, which is his favourite tune, Juicy.
Yeah, tune.
And he starts singing it, but he sings it how he was like, you don't know the words. So he's like, yeah. And all this, and it was the most funniest. And he starts singing, but in the girl's voice, you know very well. He's got his eyes closed, he can't see her, and I'm filming, cracking up. It just continues. So yeah, it's like, I liked it. Them moments there when they go viral, or pick up some traction. Yeah. That's what I love. I love the normal bits because I'm still directing. I'm still having to go to the camera, the thing, show the tune, back up, back onto me. So I'm still working it to make the content, but it's just a natural bit of content. So yeah, man, my family, my friends, like again, like this whole journey doesn't start without my friends at the Bethnal Green Yard. Yeah. Like them filming me. Yeah. They gave me a whole bag of costumes. And I used to get on the costumes. The Mexican, one of them that I wore recently, the Mexican PK Humble, and the boys come round. I got the tequilas out and I put the sombrero on and all the rest of it. And that was because from that flat, that's what I used to do then. So nothing's changed, man. But I couldn't have done or got anywhere without my friends and my local people, because it only started from Enfield. Everyone from Enfield told people, then it grew from London. And so my team's been a slow, gradual build with the help of my friends and my Spartans, who are cool friends now. Yeah, I love that. That's powerful. That. What was the reaction of your family when you're filming your mum in that situation, or you're filming your kids? Like, have they always been supportive, or have there been times they're like, "Oh, he's filming me again"? Nah. Come on, this arm was a nuisance. When I look back, that's what I mean. Yeah, they pop up now at some of the stories because they got memories. You know the ones I'm thinking of. Yeah, man. Yeah. You got memories on Snap now. I was a nuisance. Yeah, I was a nuisance, but it's what it needed. But your mum and dad are still downloading the app, so I love that. Yeah, man. My dad loves it. My dad, he gets stopped when he's out, and like not always, but a few people recognise him. And he brings me back up. He loves it. He goes, "Oi!" You muppet. He went, "I've just been stopped by someone. They think you're funny." They like you always get back. But then, if for every 5 of them, he would then tell me how proud he is of me. And he always gives me the right, even though he's not in this business, he always knows what to say. Yeah, always knows what to say because of life experience, man. So, they're my dad, man. Yeah, that's mad. I see you getting emotional just thinking about it. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. What in terms of your highlights? Because what's amazing is that the success of your online profile has led to you being on Sky Sports. You're doing League of 72. You've been on Big Nasty Show. You've done Come Dine With Me, Saturday Social. I've seen you on Super Bowl coverage. Like, did you think that doing Snapchat would let you to be? Like, seeing you on Come Dine With Me, for instance, it's like with Dick and Dom and do you know what I mean? Debbie McGee. Yeah, and there's probably an argument to say actually your audience is bigger in certain aspects than the other. But to get into the mainstream as well, when you get those calls, how does that make you feel? Are they proud moments as well? Yeah, man. Like, I remember even going to this is how you know I've got a good set of, like, even the friends that I've made in this industry. I went into Filthy Fellas the day that it aired. And they was all cheering for me. They opened a bottle of champagne. Like, it was real. The boys got behind me, man. So yeah, that stuff, man, it's incredible, man. Like that, like even, what did I do recently? Celebrity cooking school. Oh, did you? Yeah, I done that with Kim, the cleaner, Kim and Aggie. Right. Winterburn or whatever her name is. She's funny anyway, Kim. But then you had the geezer from Happy Mondays. Oh yeah, Sean Ryder. Sean, Kerry Katona. Wow. These are people I say I've grown up with, probably their age, but they was they was the people that was like superstars. Big reality people at the time. You know what I mean? And there was even what's his name? There was so many people on there that I grew up watching, and like that I'm now on with them, and they're telling me about, I remember the story that you done.
Yeah.
Mate, there's been so many times I've been wowed. And
Yeah, go on. Are there any stories like that? Any celebs saying...
Ed Sheeran.
Wow, tell me this story.
So I got two. There's two that made me say, woo. So we're doing a video shoot. So I've helped do a bit on a big nasty Ed Sheeran video. So I've done a bit of comedy on it. So I'm at the shoot. I'm also going to be in the video. And we're in Edmonton, where I grew up.
Yeah.
We're in Edmonton.
Yeah, near Tottenham.
Yeah, and then more that way. Yeah. And then Ed comes crazy. It's a shutdown. Ed's there, and I go up to Ed, and I'm like, Ed, I said, mate, I'm a big fan. Right? Like, before I could even finish, he went, Stevo.
No.
He went, yeah, mate. He goes, oh, and he's such the G. He went, no, I've just been watching the video of Leah and Rahman. He went, how's that going? Yeah, man. Like, I'm like,
wow.
What? He went, yeah. He goes, oh, I've got kids, obviously growing up. And we just start talking about dad stuff, and
just mention your kid's name.
Yeah,
man.
man.
They are.
Yeah,
wow.
that one was you. Because someone was filming when I went, so you see him say that, but you can't hear him, but you see me go, no way. Like, you see all of that.
So, but that's a pinchy moment, right?
Right. But then another one, we're at the boxing. So I've done a lot of the AJ stuff. So I'm an AJ fan.
Yeah, yeah.
But AJ, I could go on my Snap now and he's probably messaged, like, he watches me and the family, like, proper, right?
Yeah.
But I was at an AJ fight and just waiting to do my JD stuff, and Idris come, yeah, man. As I do, I'm snapping everything. So I get him and he went, Stevo The Madman. He went, effing hell. I said, what? I said, he went, nah, mate. He went, you're a G. I was like, no way, man. So you never know. But then with that, I know that Idris's assistant is a huge Spartan. Yeah. So there's a lot of people that watch that. You just never know who's watching, man. Like, right? I'll tell you, repost. This is when I just knew, like, my snaps reaching so far, and people are watching that you just never know. Like, Mealy Bobby Brown, she posted Erin. She posted Erin from my snap, like a video of Erin, like saying this. Oh, my little cutie. Vibes Cartel from prison posted Erin.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, so it's reaching all these people, and you know what I mean. And I'll be honest, around that time when I said, you know what, let me pull Erin away from this. Like, it was just like, I'd already done it with the other two.
Because it's getting a bit uncontrollable.
But Erin will get back into it. You see her now. I don't even film her hardly, and I could. She's so amazing, you know what I mean? But she'll find.
I love how proud you are when you talk about your kids.
Mate, they're the best. Leah's driving, Casey's like, they're just the best. And Em, family's the best.
Yeah, that's beautiful, mate. That I think that's beautiful.
But so
two cracking name drops as well, by the way. Idris Elba and Ed Sheeran.
Yeah, they were.
I thought you needed a couple of like championship footballers or something.
There's probably been more. I'm always surprised when I go onto a shoot, and you get like one of the players team telling you can't do this, or don't look at them. In James Rodriguez's case, you can't even look at him and all of this. And then Marcelo comes up to you and says, Stevo,
wow,
can't you speak English?
Baller, by the way, Marcelo.
Baller. I had to do an interview in Spanish with him. Yeah.
Wow.
Mucho gracias.
Good. Not sure about the accent. That's class, mate. Did you have a highlight? Just finally, then, proudest moment of your career with all of that? You've done the TV appearances, football, music producing, content creation. Is there a highlight you look back on and go, because I feel like you almost just getting started, which is mad, because you've been around for longer than most content creators, but you seem to have, I don't know if it's because of everything that's happened in the last few years, and you've been really honest and talking about that, and you know, great to hear that how passionate you are about your career, but I feel like you've got a real passion to take your career to another level.
Yeah,
like, that's
because
really coming across.
Like, always said, it's crazy. I've done 10 years, and it's like sometimes you feel people don't even know nothing's gone on or whatever.
I know what you mean by that.
Jesus, like,
they don't see the graph before
you, like you. Before I even started this, I'm watching you on Soccer AM, like, funniest
in a wig,
ever. Funny stuff ever.
All that.
People, new guys probably don't even know that's you.
No, true.
Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, I want to go again and prove it wasn't luck. It wasn't luck. You don't get 10 years of luck. You know what I mean? So I want to go again and prove that without the family, without the old... It's not without the family, because I'm still doing it. It's still... That will always be, because people always get that mistaken with, I do family content. I don't. I do me content. Family, I was stuck at home with them. So
it's through your eyes.
They was there by default. But before that, it was Nigel. I was always with the man them. after the family, it was my PA that I used to have. It was me and him every day. So I was filming pretty much me filming, having a PA that was a devout Muslim, had never stepped out of line. It was just so fascinating seeing such a good human. So I was filming him at the time, and it was just amazing. So yeah, I just film people around me and things around me all the time. You know what I mean? So this time again, the family have grown. Like Leah's got her own job. Casey's doing that. Erin's doing what Erin's doing. She's a wicked gymnast. So my tools have gone.
Yeah.
Mum's gone. Like all my tools, all my characters, Nige, the man, them.
I can tell that makes you quite emotional, that as well. Like,
yeah, man.
Positives, but also like emotional as well.
They were the best times. I wanted to, especially my boys, man. Like, we had dreams. I wanted to bring them with me, but they just didn't stay the course. It's tough for them. Emma's having to get sent back to work, and there's no pay. I'm wearing holes in my trousers because I know what the mission is. They don't know the mission. They wasn't in it. They didn't feel it how I feel. They couldn't see all the messages that I was getting of people saying, you're gonna do something. Like, so I get it. But even then, when I come back, boys, and you've now seen me open up for the Super Bowl for BBC, I'm on Sky here, this, that, the other, where like your boss is talking about me wanting a photo. Right, let's go now, boys.
Yeah, that's amazing.
They still didn't commit, you know what I mean? So even the third time I've come back and said, look, boys, I'm telling you now, this streaming, I've just built a streaming room. The way streaming's gone now is built for us. That was us in your room, Nige, snapping. It's now just on Twitch or Kick, whatever it is, just us having banter. I'll piece together what needs to be pieced together. Just get your ass round.
Yeah.
They're too settled now. Nigel's got a kid, job,
Yeah,
Steve's work. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
difficult, but I'm telling them, boys, come back. Like, forget, I'll drop anything I'm doing to have you lot back here.
On a live stream. Yeah. That was my next question, actually. So you can't pick, which is fair enough, a one highlight moment, but what's next? What is your ambition? Where will we see Stevo? Because it sounds like there's things in the pipeline you can't reveal.
No, I don't want to jinx it. Listen, I used to tell, my biggest mistake I ever made, and I've only just recovered from it, is telling everyone, I want a TV show. I've got this. Oh, BBC have come in. They announced it on this and the Comedy Channel and all this. And it never come out.
Doesn't happen, yeah.
That's an egg on my face. And I've only just, my ego's only just recovered.
Yeah.
So this time around, I'll tell you, I'm still here. We got stuff popping.
Yeah.
And stuff I'm passionate about.
Yeah.
I'm only doing stuff I'm passionate about. I'm only bringing in my own production.
Yeah.
You ain't telling me what to do. If you want to, it's fine. I'll go and stream. Everything's monetized now. I'll make more money with my monetization than I'm going to get from this show that I only want to do because my ego says, look, you said at the start you want to do this, so let's finish this job and get this show, you know what I mean? That's the only reason. Otherwise, it's not a money thing. It's not a thing of wanting any more love from the masses. Like, I get enough love from the masses of enough.
Yeah.
It's purely me. I want to show that I've got a creative pen or whatever it is, you know what I mean? So we've got stuff in the pipeline. I've got a nostalgia pod coming. Again, we shot a pilot. I'll type my guy Jay at Disruptive. Like, we came together, helped me strategize. We shot a pilot, got Big Nasty on it. We shot a wicked, just a little teaser to show these brands and whatnot. Me and him talking about Tamagotchis and playground days. It was nasty. You want to see someone that remembers memories of the things you would never think. This guy, and I don't even know if that episode is going to come out because it was only the teaser. But I might drop some clips once we get it across the line, which at the moment we're in talks with. Just again, I am not taking no deals that I'm not happy with.
You don't believe him.
I've done it before.
That's good advice, that.
Yeah,
follow your
I've done it
passion.
before, but sometimes you have to, bro. Sometimes, like, listen, I don't
sometimes
blame.
it's hard to turn things down because money talks, but actually it's not right for you.
Yeah. So I've done that. I've been on that path and I've taken the things for the wrong reasons. At the time, you think it's the right reason.
Yeah.
I've taken the job or signed the contract for the wrong reason. This time around, everything's on my terms. So yeah, man, invested as well. I've got a few investments. I'm heavily passionate about the medical cannabis. Right. So I've got some shares in a medical cannabis company, a clinic, which I only talk about it serious. I know the boys made a joke about it, saying about my knee and all of that, because that's why it's for my knee, I promise you.
Right.
It's the only reason I do that is for my knee, but it's medical. And it's saving so many lives. I've seen kids that have epileptic fits get onto our clinic and it soothes them, it helps them, you know what I mean? Smooths them out. Geezers with Parkinson's haven't stopped for years. They get on it, they get a little bit of relief. People that haven't slept, all of that, you know what I mean? So, and that comes from my mum passing. They dosed her up with morphine.
Oh, does it? Yeah.
I just know there's better pain relief out there. I know there's better pain relief, and in me looking, I come across this, and rest is history. So yeah, I'm passionate about that, passionate about my blood drives. I've got a blood drive, been putting them on. I'm trying to save lives. Again, that comes from when me and my family, my little brother had leukemia. He needed a donor. In the end, it didn't work out for him, you know what I mean? But I've been there and seen how desperate families are for just a little bit of help from.
So you've got involved in this charity because of what happened to your brother?
Yeah. My family, that charity, African Caribbean Leukemia Trust, helped my family 25 years ago, man. Like they've been helping my family. And so once my mum, who always for years we'd say, what do you want for Christmas? She'd say, just give me some money to give to the charity. You know what I mean? She was that sort of woman. Once she passed,
that's all she'd say, was it?
Yeah, there was no one repping, you know what I mean? Repping the charity that helped us. So it's like, I have to take that on now.
Mate, good for you.
Yeah, man.
So, that'll save lives, literally.
We've been saving lives.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a few years now. I give blood every 3 months now.
Are you really?
Yeah, man.
Good for you.
Yeah, man. So like, this is all stuff, now I've got through the hustle and bustle of trying to make it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I've made it,
Yeah.
but I've just got to a place where I can relax a bit more and make better decisions that ain't based on trying to get my family at home or trying to get trainers on my kids' feet. That's all sorted now. We're good for that. Now it's about like, what can you do that can, I don't know, change the world a bit, help the world, help people, you know what I mean? Little bit. So yes, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing.
I like that, because a lot of people see the light-hearted stuff for you, but you've actually got a really kind heart. And the fact that you're doing so much charity stuff to help people, I think is testament for you. The final thing I was just going to ask is what advice you have for people, because it feels like you've been on a massive learning curve, and you've spoken so honestly about the difficult times, your mum passing, your brother, the splitting up with your partner, and the learnings you've taken from that. The amount that you've put your heart into with charity work, with running, with football, with content creation. It's to be applauded, mate. So I just wondered what advice you'd have for people that might be going through bad times as well, and what advice you'd have really to end it.
When you're going through it and you think there's no light at the end of the tunnel, you should still prepare. Still try and get yourself into a position, like within yourself, that when that does come, that call comes or that door comes knocking, you are ready. That's one thing I've definitely learned. Like, you got to be in it to win it. Like, so, although stuff ain't going well for you, don't dwell on it. Don't get yourself into a rut. Just keep doing the right things. And it comes from out of nowhere. You know what I mean? It comes out of nowhere. It will just come out of nowhere, and your dream would be here. You know what I mean? But if it comes out of nowhere and you're on the bottle, or you haven't been sleeping, you're being an arse to people, when that moment comes, you're not going to be ready for it. So just keep doing the right things, keep being honest, stick to your plan that you thought was an amazing plan at the start, because it was an amazing plan just because Joe said it's not. You know what I mean? So just, my advice is stick at it. Believe in yourself, stick at it. But it's more than just believe in yourself. It's stick at it, man. Like, you had a plan, you believed in it, it will work out, man. I'm telling you. Look at mine. Like, wasn't till 32 that I ended up actually getting into this entertainment. I'd been trying so hard, and it come from a place where that wasn't even created, an industry that wasn't even here. You know what I mean? So is that? But another bit of advice: just be nice. Like, there's so many jobs that I've got, especially during COVID, that came from earlier on with the runners or someone walking down the street that I stopped for, took whatever it was, they end up getting into a better position than you, or in a position that pays you, or whatever it may be. And they remember. People remember. They remember if you're an arse, they remember if you've been good, you know what I mean? So be nice, man. Even when people ain't, Be nice, and as I say, we'll come around.
I think it's a great way to end it, mate. Thank you so much for coming on, and thank you so much for being so honest, mate. Wish you all the best for the future.
Pick up you, man.
Top man, mate.